Okay,
Ready?
we're good to go.
Okay,
Yes.
I see that. Okay, so my name's Maria Torres, and I wanted to welcome everybody to the Bronx Community Board Two's Economic and Municipal Services Committee meeting. Again, I thank you all for taking time out of your evening to come spend this time with us. So I also don't want to uh, take too much of anybody's evening as well. So we have a pretty short agenda. So we're unfortunately our first presenter isn't here. So we are going to move to the second uh, item on the agenda. Ralph, do we need to do something like a vote or something because we're switching it around, or we're okay?
Well, they're not here now, so obviously we got to move on. It would be
Okay.
different if she was here and then you wanted to,
Uh,
switch items on it, but she's not here, so we're starting.
okay, got it. So we're going to start with our second item, which is Diane Gurin of AHRC, and we've got a little presentation, but Diane, go ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you guys all for your time. My name is Diana Guerin. I'm the Regional Marketing Manager for AHRC New York City's Bronx territory. Basically, is anybody familiar with AHRC as a whole or similar, familiar a little bit? AHRC is a very large organization that provides services to intellectual and developmentally disabled adults as well as economically disadvantaged youth. My position solely is in the employment and business services area. And the opportunity that we want to give to everybody is to not necessarily have the focus on their disability, but yet their abilities and get them mainstreamed and gainfully employed into the communities in which they live in. This is just, somebody who was hired. I believe this was at a Dollar Tree or a Family Dollar location, and he is working as a cart attendant. So he's the first person customers see, and he's the last person customers see as well. So always with a smiley face. If you can move to the next slide for me. So when COVID kind of hit, what was good is that we do have multiple programs that our guys are certifiably trained in custodial and chemicals. So we have a reopening team that helps all businesses to do some deep cleaning as well as disinfecting. We have office clerical work as well as retail manufacturing and distribution. Our guys are all part of a program where they get trained. So they learn how to not only become skilled, but also get to be able to obtain jobs within their communities. Next slide, if you do not mind. So back in 1986 is when the New York City Employment and Business Services Department really started to come about. So again, these are individuals who are intellectually and developmentally disabled, but they live either with their families. They want to be gainfully employed. They want to be able to earn a check. It's always a tear in my eye when I go to an employer who hands over the check for the first time for an individual that we serve. Now, what this partnership is and what I'm hoping to do is further network with all the community boards within Bronx, and you guys are my first, so I will always be most attentive to you guys. But it's about networking and getting in front of the employers so that way we could, in partnership, work together. There are so many businesses that have been affected by COVID. So the nice hand holding that takes place is that if there's an opportunity to employ any of our individuals, they do get screened. You guys get to meet them in advance. But we are looking to support you guys as well. And what AHRC does is in partnership, we are also offering employers $4,600 in tax incentives, both state and federal, which is always a great opportunity to further increase the businesses within the Bronx borough as well. You can go to the next slide. And these are not candid pictures. These are all specifically taken of individuals that do work within the borough. We do great work with Amazon. The fulfillment center in the borough just hired 21 of our individuals. So it's really exciting when we have a severe and worthy partnership. But there's areas within Hunts Point that are definitely warehouse. like, and we are looking to definitely make those connections. You know, our guys can work long hours. Again, they're eager, they're timely, they are trained as far as what a proper work ethic is. Those who may need a little bit more hand holding, we are able to customize through partnerships with the employers in the borough to specifically put together jobs for those who may be a little bit more disabled. I just met the other day this girl, Elisa, and she is partially paralyzed on her left side. And she presents well, she's absolutely beautiful, and she wants to work. So think of it from our perspective. We want to make sure that she gets an opportunity to do what we do every single day, which is work. But it's hard for her. So we have to then customize a position for her in working with employers and saying that, you know what, she is partially affected on her left side. Let's create something that is specific and special for her needs. So once again, it's not only that you're receiving the tax credits, but also you're helping to make a difference in somebody's life. Instead of focusing on the disability, we want to spearhead that and focus on the abilities of every person that we serve. HRC does represent 5,000 individuals across all 5 boroughs. It definitely has hit us hard during this pandemic. And we just want to make sure that not only are our guys getting back out there, they are, for the most part, I would say all of them who are within our services and in our programs, they've all received their COVID shots. I myself, 94% protected. So it definitely is easier when speaking with employers to know that they have done everything that they can do to not only protect themselves as well as the employer, as well as the customers. Next slide for me. So we're talking about the top 10 reasons, and I think I more or less went through all of them, but some is that we want to make sure that they are motivated and punctual employees who take pride in their work. There's constant support and training. Our guys, for the most part, will have a job coach. So instead of one of the employees having to take away the time from what their job is, we work with the job coaches so that way they're not taking away any of the staff that have to do their jobs. So again, it's an opportunity to change other people's lives. There is the tax incentive. That is always the nice benefit. And there are multiple different ways. It's not only through employment opportunities, but we also are looking for sites and locations for interns. That means that the employer would commit to about 200 hours of work. The employer does not have to pay the individual. We take on that stipend and pay them, but it's all a matter of giving them that true work experience, that hands-on experience that we're looking to increase and grow their skills further. Job coaches are always an asset. There are some individuals who we have to revisit often just because we realize that, you know, they cannot be independent. So our eyes and our attention and our commitment to these individuals, as well as the partnerships with the employers, is something that we really hold very, very true to ourselves. Next slide, if you don't mind. So we find employment opportunities for people with developmental disabilities and continue our supports to help people maintain jobs. So for instance, I had an individual who was hired at Amazon, and within 2 weeks, I started to see that his interest started to veer off. So naturally, we have to look into that and see, you know what, maybe this is not holding their interest. So instead of them getting fired, which of course would not be the greatest outcome, we kind of move in a little quicker and we find out what their resources are and what they need further. And sometimes it's not always a great match, but we do constant evaluations of our individuals. We know where their skill sets are at all times. We know what supports that they need, so that way we can properly job match, because a proper job match will lead to success. So I reached out to the community boards in hope of working together and further networking. So that way we are kind of holding hands together, not only supporting the borough businesses, but also helping HRC's men and women to become gainfully employed. Go to the next slide. I don't know that there's much more, but again, we have individuals who do retail, customer service, office support, a lot of food prep in the food industry. We have maintenance. Majority of our guys do custodial, janitorial, as well as porter work. Many also work in the warehouses. But I'd like to say there is no job that they cannot do. It's just a matter of making sure that there is the correct match and the correct fit. We don't want to set up the employer nor the individual up to fail. We want to make sure everybody succeeds and it's a win-win for everybody. So, just if there's any opportunities for job fairs that are within the, within the borough to possibly meet with people or even to connect with certain business owners, that networking would be truly instrumental for us to work together. And I think that was it. It's not a long presentation. I think I had sent over a video. It's a YouTube link. It's about 5 minutes. I don't want to take up too much time because I know everybody wants to make sure that, the night ends quickly, right, Maria? But nonetheless, this is a group that I took them to Staples. There were 5 individuals. They all presented themselves well. Of course, we don't handshake. We had to teach them to do elbow pumps during this pandemic just to make sure that everybody is staying safe, but yet still coming across in a professional manner. You see that they're all wearing masks. 2 of these individuals were offered a job. Staples came back to us and they wanted to originally hire 3 of them, but budgets are being cut and we understand that. So again, it's just a matter of making that connection and just working together in partnership. But again, I've been in this field for 18 years. There is no greater job or reward at the end of the night to know that we place these individuals in employment opportunities. So they want to live a life just like the rest of us on this call. They want to succeed and they want to be accepted. So again, this is AHRC New York City's Employment and Business Services. Again, my name is Diana Guerin, and any kind of leverage of networking opportunities or relationship buildings would be very much appreciated. That was short, right, Maria?
I don't want people to think I want to rush them out, but I just want to be respectful of people's time. And if we have a long meeting, we have a long meeting. But no, that was great. Thank you very much for that information.
Absolutely.
And normally we have Miguel Calderon is who works for another agency doing job placement. This was like right up his alley. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight. Okay. But I will open it up if there's anybody else from who would like to ask a question.
Can she just leave the YouTube link in the chat so that way when I go to email it, people can look at it on their own time?
That would be great. Yes, I will do that.
Yeah, we can also send Miguel this presentation and her contact info. And if he has questions or concerns, I'm sure he'll follow up directly with her.
That would be much appreciated, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, Diana, this is Elvis. Quick question.
Sure.
I work in the security field, and I was wondering, do you have candidates that may be able to hold a security post?
I have 2 individuals who have been asking for security jobs. Security jobs for them is something that is their dream job. I have not found any opportunity for them as of yet. So if you and I want to connect, that is their dream job. So I have 2 individuals. They are very high functioning. And again, it's funny because I could present 5 different jobs to them, and because it's not security, they want nothing to do with it. So they rather go unemployed and without work, all because it's not under that category. So I have a feeling you and I will be in touch. I look forward to connecting for sure.
Awesome. I'm going to put my phone number in the chat.
Excellent.
Please feel free to reach out to me tomorrow.
Excellent.
And I'll see what we can do to get those guys moving forward.
Wonderful. I appreciate it, Elvis. Thank you.
My pleasure.
How's it going? I had a follow-up question, and this is similar to Elvis, actually. And I'm Elvis Santana myself, which is funny. I used to be a job developer and program coordinator as well within other providers, as you're familiar with like SYP work and work on and grow afterwards. Considering the dynamic we're in now in terms of remote, do you guys provide those kinds of trainings, even if it's distant apart, and enable them to actually get involved?
We just recently started bringing our day program individuals in, obviously socially distanced, properly spaced out. We've decreased the number of individuals that attend. but it is important that we are starting to bring people back. AHRC as a whole has done a really good job at securing, the vaccinations, making sure that our PE is always up to date. So we are doing more in-person stuff, probably within just the last month and a half, to be honest with you. Remote is really hard for our guys. I've had to teach them how to all learn how to do Zoom. They want to use WhatsApp and what's the other one? House Party. And I keep telling them that that is really like for personal uses that we really have to learn how to conduct ourselves. So I think it's been a benefit both remote as well as now bringing them back in, because we did have to teach them all new skills and different ways to go about job developing as well as job interviewing. So it's definitely been interesting, but they've been champs, I have to tell you. They're very resilient.
That's awesome to hear. And I'm going to throw in my information there too, considering I've come across individuals that are interested in construction or those kinds of field in terms of security, where I'm able to help out and where to find out some of those credentials for free in case of them having to pay for themselves. That can probably help us out and those people within our community. So I just throw it in there.
Thank you so much, Elvis.
Hey, Diane, I had a question. Regarding any of the jobs you might have been able to help these men and women get, I was wondering if any of them were either in Mott Haven or Hunts Point specifically.
See, Hunts Point has been, I have to say, even Steve Talla, he's the VP of our Employment and Business Services Department, and Hunts Point is always on everybody's list. It's obviously very industrial. There's a lot of warehouses. It's not an area that we have tapped into. But it is definitely something that we realize we probably could get several people hired in one shift, and work together. We have a day program. So those guys kind of, they have to stay within, let's say, a 10 to 4 hour frame. And then we have other ones who are a little bit more independent and can secure, their jobs on their own, and they're completely travel trained. Again, Hunts Point is definitely not a tapped resource or territory within the Bronx, which is why I thought to reach out to all the community boards to just kind of see, where everybody's thoughts are and if it would be a receptive process as far as us going in and start making those connections.
A quick question, I guess. So you mentioned you've been able to find, a lot of warehouse jobs, things like that. Have you been able to secure union jobs for some
unions unions are definitely tough with us. It's because of contractual reasons, so we try to steer away. Most of our guys also have benefits. They collect SSI or SSD. So many of them can only work part-time hours. So we're not opposed to union jobs. It's just we need to make sure that we're all on the same page, and we're just making sure that the individuals are getting out of it what we need them to. Or would you say that there are more union jobs in Hunts Point than the non-union?
No, not necessarily, but you mentioned warehouse work, and I know we have the market, and so some of the market is unionized and some aren't. So just wondering.
I will be honest with you. I do not live in the Bronx. They put me there, so I'm still kind of learning things. But within the market, is there an opportunity to maybe go there at some point and meet somebody just to kind of, get a look and see what possibilities are?
Yeah. Ralph, there's a new person in charge of the market, right? It's Kelly.
Philip.
He was on a meeting with us. What?
Yeah, Phil. His name is Phil.
Phil? Okay.
Yes, Phil.
Okay. So yeah, there's somebody new there, but there's also, there's a lot of, businesses in and around that area also that may not necessarily be a part of the cooperative market, but are in that area, in the industrial area, that, it's a possibility for your organization to place some people, it's unloading trucks and doing things like that, of that nature.
Yeah, we even have some people that can operate the machines and the carts that, the cars that do the lifting up and down. So we do have those that are specifically trained in that area as well. So like I said, anything is an opportunity to just kind of see. We have people, across all, disabilities. But we also have the economically disadvantaged, and that is our youth. So from ages 16 to 24. We also look to get them a little bit more involved in the communities as well and supported.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Diana, I guess you're free to go. You're welcome to stay.
I'm going to.
Thank you.
You could put in the video link that I sent to the group.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Is that on the email?
It is. I had sent the email probably around 5:30.
I'll put it in the chat. Okay, I'll put it in the chat right now. That's not a problem.
Well, so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your presentation.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll be able to make some connections for you.
Yes, thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, so wow. All right, so we're still waiting for Wahira. I don't see her here yet. It's 6:31. So even if she thought it started at 6:30, she's late. Let's see. Do we want to give her another 2 minutes? Do we want to move to like old business?
I tried texting her, didn't go through. So let me text her again. But we can do some announcements if anything. We have some announcements.
Yeah, I guess I have an announcement. Let's see. So next week, March 15th to the 18th, the Point will be hosting New York City Health and Hospitals for a self-testing swab event. So you can come in. It's very easy. You put in your information, you get a swab, you do it yourself. It's much easier and more pleasant than the old way. I call it the old way because I've been doing the self-testing for a few weeks now, and it's been pretty good. The results are within 2 to 3 business days, and and it's always good to keep aware of in terms of testing. So that'll be at the Point CDC, 940 Garrison Avenue, and that's Monday, March 15th through Thursday the 18th, and it's from 9:30 to 4 p.m. So people are welcome to come and do that. Also tomorrow night, if the CB2, I know CB2's been putting it out on Facebook, yes, but tomorrow night is What Does the Future of Hunts Point Look Like to You? It's going to be an interesting web chat here.
Really, you actually have that on your, I think the last page of this agenda.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. Yes.
Yeah, I have it up on the screen now.
Yeah, it's good. So everybody, please participate in it, even for a little bit. It's important. This was all a part of the Hunts Point Vision Plan, which started way back when in I think the 90s. And here we are 20 years later. But these are all projects that the city, various city agencies have that happen within Hunts Point, as well as, what is it that we want to see. And so this is a way for you to kind of, voice your opinions on what you'd like to see in the community. And should be an interesting hour and a half, and that's tomorrow night from 6 to 7:30. The flyers have cool QR codes. It should have the information on it as to how to do it. So, and I know the community board's been putting it out on Facebook and their other social media. So please check it out. I know I'll be there. I hope
I'll be
Ralphie
there.
is. Miles will be there. Yes. I'm also seeing there's lots of lane closures that are happening. At least that one says January 20. Okay, this one's going to be ending soon, which is cool. So the construction with the Sheridan, which is affecting the Bruckner, is continuing. So we have this lane closure is going to run through this weekend, but there's another one too I saw that's closer. Yeah, this one, right? That one's next week. Single lane closures on the weekends. You know, you really gotta, we gotta stay diligent or vigilant in terms of all the construction and the closures, because if you don't drive there for a week and then you get back on it, it's like totally different. So we all gotta, just when you're driving, please be careful as they're doing this construction, and hopefully, it'll all go through without too many incidents. I don't know if they've had any major ones yet, but they're moving along. Is there anything else? Okay. Oh, 41st Precinct, the Auxiliary Unit, 5th Annual Autism Awareness Week. That's coming up next month. That's in April. Monday, April 19th at 11 a.m. They'll be doing something. Also, the 41st Precinct is doing a Build-A-Block. And I forget which sector I am. I think it's the B sector. This is the one for Hunts Point. When you first enter on the right side, we're not the Atom. I think we're B as in boy. The B sector, they'll be having a meeting at the Point CDC on Wednesday the 17th, next Wednesday evening. So, and that's in person. So people are welcome to come. We'll be opening, I believe it's about 5:30. And it's the local NCOs. This isn't the regular precinct meeting. This is a sector meeting to discuss issues in that particular area. Hey, Maritza's here. LaShawn, hello. All right. We're still waiting on our
That's it. We're good to go. We can go.
What?
I mean, it is what it is. She probably not gonna get on by now.
All right. Well, I guess just a real quick thing. I think she was going to get on to say that Grow NYC, the warehouse here in Hunts Point, is not going to. They sold the building, so they have to move. But in the future, they are building something down by the market, down by I want to say Baldor's in that area. So they'll have a nice new space in the future. So I do need someone to adjourn this. Is there anybody?
Make a motion. I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
All right, and I need a second.
A second.
All right, Miles seconds. Okay, so with that, this meeting is, unless anybody has anything else they need to add, this meeting will be adjourned at 6:38.
All right.
Okay.
Good night.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
stopping the recording now.
Okay.